Skillet Sports presents.
Gee, Sizzle, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Jay, it is another day in Wonderland. Well, I guess for some people it's wonderful.
It makes you wonder, don't it?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's a I Wonderland. But hey, man, let's get ready to start the show.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Sizzle, the talk of the 219, the hottest sports talk in the region, on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
Welcome in, everyone. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. Look, you know, I'm your boy. G Sizzle's in the building. EJ Sizzle.
Yes,
we
sir.
are in the building. And we've got a full Monty. We're going to give you a full show. We're going to kick it. We're going to go from football to basketball to soccer to hockey to cupcake making.
Wow.
To
I
what
like I like a
happens.
good cupcake.
Oh yeah. What happens when you got to move in 30 days and you got to find a house? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Oh man, it's a lot we need to talk
Got a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on, but you know, it's always the major thing. I know you want to move away from it. I know you do. You've had this discussion. We've talked about it, but here we are again.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears.
Back in love again.
They had an impromptu press conference. And in this impromptu press conference, you heard from all the power brokers at Hollis Hall. You heard from George McCaskey. You heard from Ryan Pace. You heard from the head coach. You even probably heard from Hollis Hall itself. I think Hollis did an interview. The whole hall called. Okay, Jay. So 90 minutes. There were conversations. It was talk. It was a lot of collaboration. And people were saying all the good things. But nobody laid out a plan. There's no plan. And I'm beginning to wonder if there ever will be a plan.
No, there's not no plan. That was so uninspired. You know what this remind me of? It reminds me of a bunch of dads at the cookout after, you know, your little 8-year-old team went 0 for 6 for the season, and you're just glad little Johnny and them they're all running around with their little participation medals on. That's basically what that looked like. You know, Johnny played really well this year. You know, he was a top 10 quarterback in a 6-team league. You know what I'm saying? So this whole situation going on with the Bears is reprehensible. Nagy should have been out on his ear. Pace should be out on his ear. They should have been getting rid of Mitchell Trubisky. They need to be making these moves. What more do you need to see after this debacle that has been the Bears since 2018? Since you had all the hope going on, since you had Pace as executive of the year, Nagy's coach of the year, Mitchell Trubisky what leaked into the back door of being an all-pro, and now you have a team that's lost 8 out of its 11 last ball games. Nowhere sniffed a playoff win in either one. Look, that playing game, you know what I'm saying? Can we just do this with the playing game? You know, and then it showed what they can't do against the Saints. The same Mitchell Trubisky. You know, bro, I don't know, man. It's how long do they think the fans are going to keep doing this? They're going to keep tuning in. Because right now, I guarantee you, there's some people today who say, you know what, it's not worth me spending my hard-earned money, my pipe fitter money, my Uber driving money to try to go to these Bears games, and you guys will keep rolling out this product that you're rolling out. It just really was bad.
Yeah, it's at the point now, man, where you're beginning to wonder if any of this has any okay. Here's my problem, Jay.
Okay.
I don't want to make this sound. I don't want to tie it into local government and what's happening, the broader sense of what's happening around the world. But I will say this. After listening to George McCaskey, you get a sense and you get an understanding of what privilege can do.
Yeah, no doubt.
It can blind you. It is intoxicating. It lets you think that you're in tune with the world when you truly aren't.
You don't
When
even
you
know
have,
how much. Yeah, you don't have an idea how much a gallon of milk costs.
right. And you have no idea. You are so deep down the rabbit hole. You can't even see up and see any light. There's nothing up there because you're so deep in.
Yeah.
George McCaskey is so in over his head. I came to a conclusion yesterday, and it's to your point. It's one of those things. I'm becoming numb to the whole situation because I'm saying to myself, if they don't care about the product on the field, if they're only concerned about the bottom line, and it's how many jerseys you sell, how many people are in the stadiums, how many more things you can license the Bears image onto, how much merchandise can they keep selling? If that's your true concern, and accountability is not your thing, because nobody's held to the standard of winning. After listening to Ryan Pace, I realized you could work for the Bears, and if you just show up for work, you'll be okay. I mean, we talk about winning. We really don't want to win. We're just going to talk about it because there's no winning. Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Kyle Fuller, Eddie Jackson, all those great names that you see on the defensive line, it doesn't matter because you're not going to win. You're not, as long as you're a Chicago Bear, you're not going to win anything.
Yeah,
so
you're absolutely right about that. And here's the thing about it. You got an aging group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have an Akeem Hicks that you're going to have to end up paying somewhere down the line here very soon. You got Fuller. If they start restructuring these deals, these guys are owed some cash. So you're going to have to restructure Fuller's deal down the line. Can you keep Khalil Mack here? So are you going to be giving away a good amount of your future to try to keep these players on? But to what point? Because the issue is now you have the Bears picking right around the 20th spot. That's what it looks like. So all your top flight quarterbacks that by name that we know of will probably be gone. So now you are taking your pick 199, hoping that you can find your Tom Brady, because all your people who have been through the fire, who you understand have seen them play in the big games, are going to be gone. So now, because of that, they're going to say, well, are any of these other quarterbacks better than Mitchell Trubisky? And they might have a point there. But the point is that you should have never picked Mitchell Trubisky in the first place because you had better quarterbacks than Mitchell Trubisky in that draft. Now, what are the Bears going to do? You look at Matt Nagy right now, because Chuck Pagano is going to be gone. Now he's looking to go ahead and get new coaching staff. So he's basically taking his coaching staff right now, like the priest of Baal, and asking God to call down the flame and set them on fire at the altar, because that is his NFL Bears sacrifice to the gods. But he failed to understand that he was the one who was cooking the soup. These were his coaches prior to that. So now you're going to say, now that you can't coach your own quarterback because you can't call your own plays and you can't pick your own coaches. How long are we going to let a guy sit driving the bus when he can't get the bus out of park? That's the biggest problem here with the Bears. You got too many I like you guys together. Hey, our culture's great. We love each other. We go out, we barbecue, the wives come over, we have brownie bites, and every once in a while we get off our Atkins diet. We live crazy, and we put some chocolate syrup on some ice cream, and it's just fabulous. They got those guys. Look, you need to get the best guy in that you can. I don't care if you don't like him. He's a chain-smoking, bourbon-drinking son of a gun that your wife says every time he comes over, he stares at her ankles, but he can win football games. This is what you need.
Stares at her ankle. She has those thick ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every guy's got, not the obvious parts, but every guy's got that part of a female that he goes, oh, I like her toes. Or he looks at her hands or something, or it's her neck, or every guy's got his little thing that he likes. I'm not talking about the obvious stuff. Let's keep this PG. But the whole thing is that you need to get the best that you can get to coach up your football team and get them out here and playing football. This is what you need to do. This is not a popularity contest. And so, because I'm telling you right now, the Bears are in football hell, absolute football hell. And I don't see this administrative group, Mr. McCaskey, I don't see him pulling them out, because guess what he gets to do? Once all said and done, he gets to go back up to the ivory tower into the world he has created. And look, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong when your family has made this money and you are a son of privilege and you've continued this family to be able to continue to make money, that you create your own world. We all try to create our own world. Every once in a while, I will go in the line at Popeye's Chicken and sit there and wait 35 minutes, because it's well worth me to spend too much money to give me some of that Popeye's chicken. Because in that world, I feel like I'm balling when I got the big Popeye's chicken and 6 biscuits. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that every day because I ain't got the coins like that. So,
Well, we think about all the things that have gone into it, and unfortunately, now I've gotten off track. I've gotten sidetracked by
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Because it made me think about, okay, so I was in college and I met Faith Evans. We did an interview. And I remember this was before she was really big.
Pre-Biggie? I'm about to say pre-Biggie, post-Biggie?
No, it was post-Biggie, but they had just got married. This was the release of her first album.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I looked at the promo, the press kit they sent us.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to go into the interview. And I looked at the picture on the promo album. And then when I sat down to do the interview, I looked down and I thought to myself, she has the prettiest feet of any woman I've ever seen in my life. I had never seen a woman with prettier feet.
Yeah.
And for some reason, your ridiculous story took me all the way back to, So thank you. Thank you. It's levity.
And Mrs. G Sizzle, these comments that you have, it is only for show purposes.
Only for show purposes only.
Your feet are the prettiest he's ever seen. Ever.
Because I'm telling you now. I don't want you to come out.
Yeah, I don't want you to come out who get clocked upside your head, G Sizzle.
Well, see, that was then, but this is now. So right now,
good segue. There you go.
We're talking about what's going on now.
Get out of danger, Will Robinson. Get out of there.
Then let's talk about some then and now. Let's talk about it.
Go ahead.
I've always said that my surprise thing of the year is Vic Fangio is going to end up being Bears defensive coordinator.
He needs to, because definitely don't need to be head coaching anywhere. We know that for a fact.
As it's looking now, John Elway stepping away from the day-to-day football things.
Yeah. Denver
might be making a change really soon. They might be doing the Michael Jackson and looking at the man in the mirror and saying, we got to make that change quickly. Make that change.
I didn't know, man. My voice is sounding better.
Hey, man, the Golden Pipes are coming back.
Boy, when they come back, and I can really talk, I can really give you some opinions then.
I got an opinion.
Yes,
I got an opinion.
Go ahead.
When you're looking for a defensive coordinator and you're all over the world and you're trying to find somebody, and we're going to have all kinds of guys come in and we're going to do some things. Hey, why don't you try the best defensive person on your staff, which might be Jay Rodgers? If he's the guru, if he's the one that's made this defensive line what it is, taking people from nowhere and making them something, then why don't you just move him? Because here's the thing. If it's true, now it might not be true, but we don't know what contract status looks like.
Yeah.
So if Nagy and Pace are 2 years up, let's say this is year 1 of 2, and then next year is 2 of 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so what coordinator would want to come in a tenuous situation, not knowing what's going to happen, and maybe if it collapses next year, everybody gets fired, and now I've just moved my whole family, or I've uprooted myself, or missed on some better jobs to take this Bears job. The only thing that I see that can work is either you use an in-house person, or you go and get an old throwback. You go and get one of these older head coaches that defensive players will respect.
But
And I'm talking about, well, no, I'm talking about like Wade Phillips old, Romeo Cornell. You need to go get one of the I'm talking about, dude, you got to go get one of the old ones. Now, here's a name that comes out of nowhere. Lovie Smith. Now there's a lot of chatter. Man, she would bring, Lovey doesn't work for Illinois no more. So, Lovey would be really good, man. He in that antiquated cover 2. Everybody and his mama can, how did cover 2 work for OSU in the title game?
Yeah, how does cover 2 work for Illinois? Was Illinois any better post Lovey than they were pre-Lovey? And they ran that cover 2 all the time, and they were getting torched, absolutely torched. You didn't see them. Let me take 2 seconds on Lovie Smith down there in Illinois.
Okay.
You must not be really that good in the living room, Lovie Smith. Because
the Santa Claus beard didn't do it for you?
Didn't do it. It's
okay.
Lovey, how are you not able to recruit the state of Illinois? How is Northwestern bashing you upside the head? And you know how hard it is to get into Northwestern?
Mm-hmm.
You literally it's the Harvard of the Midwest. It's difficult to get.
The Ivy League of the Midwest.
Yeah, it's difficult to get in up there. Even though they make players exceptions, it's still. And then once you get in there, it's difficult to stay eligible at Northwestern. They don't let you basket weave too much up there, or everybody take sports management so that they could all be coaches. Which, going back to that's what I should have did. Anyway, but so you look at Lovey down in Illinois. You mean to tell me you can't recruit the Champaign-Urbana area? You can't recruit East St. Louis. You can't recruit right around Ohio. You can't recruit right around there. Some of the Ohio State rejects. You can't pick up those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how I was so hopeful that Illinois was going to be better than what they were. They had some flashes, but then all of a sudden you looked up, it's the same old Illinois again. You got to have speed on the outside. You got to. How's the University of Central Florida, these schools like that able to compete at the highest level down there? You mean to tell me you can't go down into Florida and go run around and start grabbing some of these speedsters down there, some of these speedsters out of Texas? That what I'm saying.
Wait, you're from Texas. That's your stomping ground, and you just made a really good point. Okay, so you can't even get fringe players, right? You can't use your cachet to get fringe players, guys from Texas. So you're telling me that in all your time, and I've never seen this, maybe you can remember a time, Jay, when a football coach forgot how to coach?
Yeah.
Or was married to one style that after that he knew nothing else about coaching? Because you can't tell me, but it goes back to what we were saying about the Bears. And I had this discussion with a gentleman yesterday, actually, one of the homeboys. He's a Dallas, Texas. Texas.
I just he's about a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was going to go, so sorry.
Yes, he is. He is the chapter president of the Northwest Indiana Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, wow. They just have a bag over their head and they got their foot in the cast.
It was sad. It was so sad. But we were talking about teams and we were talking about players, and it comes down to we've seen it. We've seen it with our nephew's team. We've seen it with other teams. We've seen what happens when you are devoid of talent. You see it happening now with the Bulls, the Cubs, now the Bears. Only team in the city now that outside of, and even with the Chicago Fire, the Sky. I mean, you can keep going. The White Sox are the only ones who have talent, and the talent is what's going to make the difference. You can get whatever coach you want in there.
And
as long as they suck, you can't get anything going.
And a lot of times, too, it has to do with facilities. And I'm wondering now if
Illinois just built a beautiful new facility.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering what their weight room and stuff looks like, and I haven't looked at it. A lot of times that makes a big deal. You see what LSU did? LSU literally has a IMAX. It literally has an IMAX for its football players.
I got that. But they just built a new facility in Illinois. A lot of it is facility, but a lot of it's culture too. We've had this discussion about Illinois many times. You're not getting guys down to Sheriff. Champaign can't recruit Chicago.
No.
They can't. They don't recruit Northwest Indiana, the greater Chicagoland area. They don't even try to recruit Michigan. And as you said, you're right there. So you got Missouri at your beck and call. You got Ohio there. You got Kentucky. You can pull players from different areas to put together a good team.
Yeah, I just don't understand what even when I got recruited down to Illinois and I didn't go to Illinois. Illinois still was in the same position. Illinois has been in the same position since I've been in high school. That they were never that team that you say, oh, I want to go play for the U of I. You know what I'm saying? And then if you say U of I, people go, oh, you going to you going to Circle Campus? You go to you go to UIC? Is that where you go? No. You know what I'm saying? It's just so sad that the University of Illinois has always been a bottom feeder in the league. They're never, and I thought under Lovey, at least because he was a Bears pro coach. That was my thing. We're going to be able to recruit Illinois. You were going to be able to recruit Indiana, which are Bears strongholds. I mean, if you could just pull your top players, some of your top players out of Illinois and Indiana, if you can get some of these guys down, these big linemen, and get some of these defensive players coming to the Catholic League, go up north, pull some guys out here, go to Simeon, guys like that got speed on the outside, which Illinois did have some of those guys down there. The thing is that we got to be better in the living room. This is why Nick Saban is the greatest coach ever, because he can sit in your living room and convince your mama that he's going to take care of you.
Yes, and convince her to buy Aflac insurance.
Absolutely right. I don't know why he don't smack up that duck, though. I don't know why he doesn't do that.
I'm tired of the duck. I mean, I was cool with the duck when it was Gilbert Gottfried's voice, and then he went off the plantation, and then
he did get off the reservation, and he's like, "Whoa!"
It just makes me think about. No, I'm not doing it. Don't do it. It's too early in the morning for this foolishness. Don't do it.
Well, you know what? You know what, G Sizzle, the clock is spinning here, and I don't know about if you had enough of this Bears foolishness.
Yeah, I'm done.
If you had,
I'm done because I can't. It's nothing else we can keep talking about with the Bears. The Bears are what they are. So Bears fans, Bears Nation, Bear Down. Yeah, it is what it is, son. It is what it is. You have your quarterback in the building. You got your running back. You're probably going to lose your wide receiver to a team I think that really would do great for him, and that's Allen Robinson. And I think instead of Deshaun Watson coming to the Bears, maybe the Texans should go and get Allen Robinson.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going anywhere. That's number one. And I'm pretty sure Allen Robinson is probably going to be on the move, and they're going to probably bring up keep Mooney out there. They're going to probably keep bringing up Javon Wims, even though, he just whiffed on the pass. Like I said, he looked like my 7-year-old grandson out there running around trying to catch a bomb. And finally, maybe we might see Ridley actually play.
You're not
going
to do it. Nope. They're going to make. There's going to be your top two receivers are going to be Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney. They're going to re-sign Williams, and no one will see Ridley for whatever reason.
How are you not putting Riley Ridley on the floor? Every time Riley Ridley gets on the football field and they throw the ball to Riley Ridley, he catches the football.
Hashtag free Riley Ridley.
Please let him go somewhere so he can actually get some real NFL money. You know what I'm saying?
Free.
You got
Free him.
You know, it's ridiculous. He's Calvin Ridley's brother. Have y'all forgot that?
Free Riley Ridley.
Okay. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
So let's talk about some other nonsense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the biggest nonsense of the last 24 hours. Your man, the tubby beard, James Harden. And let me say this, folks. James Harden is tubby. If you look at that super medium, that especially that baby blue, for whichever reason, in good God's name, Houston decided to go to that blue uniform.
I don't know where that came from.
Really made him look like he was wearing a Snuggie. I'm going to tell you now, James, maybe your basketball thing will get better when you get back into shape. Cut that mess off your head. Get yourself together, and stop eating burritos and hot wings.
James Harden has shut it down for the Rockets. Shut it down. He is like 8 points lower than his average. He has shut it down. He's like, because James Harden can walk out there with both hands tied behind his back and give you 20.
Yeah, he's a bucket. He is truly a bucket in all sense of the term. But let's walk through it. Let's walk through this Travis Shamockery. So if you are just getting released from the Calabusi and you haven't heard,
it happens.
James Harden was traded. He was traded. He was sent away. He was told bye-bye. James Harden was traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Karis LeVert was traded to Houston, and he was traded to Indiana because Indiana traded Victor Oladipo to Houston.
Yeah.
And now, and by the way, Houston gets 8 draft picks coming up.
Dude, the Nets gave away their kids' future. You know what I'm saying? They gave away literally their first and second born.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many people are you going to give to the Houston Rockets? I mean, it's ridiculous. It was like 2021, 2023, 2025, and then you got a compensatory pick over here, and then a round 2 pick is coming after that. And it's like, what are you doing? The Rockets like, give it all to me. James don't want to be here, fine. We'll still be good. But now, the East has become interesting. Can Kyrie Irving be the glue that pulls the OKC, 2/3 of the OKC together to win a championship? Because right now, I'm looking at the Brooklyn squad as being the best team in the East right now.
Okay. All right. Let's slow your roll here. And let's slow your roll to think about it in perspective.
Go ahead.
Let's go back to the day that LeBron James said he was going to take his talents to South Beach.
Yeah, along with Chris Bosh, along with Dwayne Wade. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, all of them that was down there. They went and got
all
Ray,
that good stuff.
They went and got what? Ray Allen. All of them. They went and got everybody.
Let me ask you something. How many rings did that triumphant? How many did they?
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
What? Wait, huh? What'd you say?
How many they get? It was.
Did they get one?
The Miami Heat.
Okay. Come on now.
Well, he took his talents. He took his talents down there.
He did. He took his talents there, and they were scary. And then once some things started happening, those talents started shifting.
Well, Chris Bosh started having medical problems too. Now let's go back to that. I mean, he was not.
Okay.
He was not that guy that they thought they were going to have down there. You know, and that part of that triumphant that they had that Chris Bosh did was having serious medical issues then.
Well, so is Kyrie Irving. And I think they're mental issues because my man said he's in protest and he's not coming back to the facility until there's social justice. So, he's just going to go and twerk at his sister's birthday party.
He has become Juan Carlos. He just permanently has his glove on, and he has an Olympic podium erected in the front room of his house. And every day he just gets up to the top, and he just puts his left hand in the air, or the right hand in the air. I can't remember that.
Left hand.
Yeah, put his left hand up in the air. And look, I applaud any of these guys making these social justice stances because I think it's important. I think these guys are role models. But you got to be able to make your social justice stance and also keep your livelihood going and keep giving your best effort to the team that's paying your salary.
Right.
I think, and I don't think in my mind that you, as a pro athlete, you cannot separate yourself from the sport that you do or the activity that you do, because the only reason why people are listening to you is because you dribble the ball basket better than anybody else. You throw the football better than anybody else. You are a role model because kids run around and wear your jersey. However, though, I still think you have a fiduciary responsibility to that team that's signing your paychecks to bring as less disparaging scrutiny on them as possible, because the reason why you are who you are is because these guys decided to pay you these paychecks. So,
and you think you want to, your moral and ethical code, there's efficacy here. There's the fact that you want not only your brand to stand for something, but the cause that you're standing for. You want to spotlight the best of that so that your cause is something that the masses can huddle around and agree with and come to terms with. So let's look at what has really happened.
Yeah.
James Harden goes to the Nets. The Rockets get Oladipo, Exum, some 3 Brooklyn first-round picks, 1 Milwaukee first-round pick, 4 Brooklyn first-round swaps. The Pacers get Karis LeVert and a second-rounder, and the Cavs get Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. What in the super wide world of sports is going on? Okay, I get everything maybe until you get to the Cavs.
Well,
I get it all.
I think what's happening is that this is the LeBron James effect. I think what's going on right now is that everybody has realized you're not going to win a chip in the NBA as long as LeBron and AD are healthy. You're just not going to.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing for second, third, fourth place. You might as well give LeBron and them the trophy today. Because unless how are you going to beat them? How are you going to beat a healthy LeBron and a healthy AD in a 7-game series? You might get lucky and beat them once or twice. And, you might go, had the series might be tied up 2-2, but we know that you're not going to beat LeBron James and AD, two of the greatest power, the greatest duo. And I said it. This is the greatest duo ever in NBA basketball. Absolutely.
What I don't get is you're James Harden. You're the man. You're the one that Houston put everything around you. They pushed all the chips in. You're upset now. It's not good enough. We're not great enough.
Yeah, James Harden said they don't have enough in Houston to win. It's crapped all over DeMarcus Cousins and everybody else who's down there like, y'all some trash.
Right. You don't have John Wall. You don't have Cousins. You don't have a glut of all these three-point shooters, perimeter shooters that you need so that you can dance around for 30 minutes, play iso ball, and never pass it to them. And when you happily do pass it to them, oh, okay. And we put everything together where we shipped away great player. Well, okay, good player.
I was about to say.
You shipped away the Clint Capellas. You shipped away great centers for PJ Tucker as your center.
Yeah, the thing about it is that with James Harden, James Harden really reminds me, and I go back to it. I compare a lot of women, because men understand what I'm talking about when I say this. You ever notice the really, really, really the beautiful chick? I mean, the absolutely just, but she still hangs around a circle of people that you know. So she's still accessible, but she's not. And every guy who's ever talked to has come back with his wallet missing. You know what I'm saying? And he lost his job, because you know what I'm saying? James Harden is that unattainable beauty that when you get it, it's toxic for you. What is James Harden going to do up here with the Nets? I mean, with Brooklyn. What is he going to do up here? Because there's not enough basketballs to go around.
Okay, so you got Kyrie, who needs his hand on the ball. You got KD, who should have his hands on the ball at all times.
Yes.
And you got James Harden, who never gives up the ball.
Who brought his own basketball out on the court. And when they throw the ball up in the air, James Harden is bouncing his own basketball.
And you're going back to a coach in D'Antoni that you had issues with. You've got a first-year head coach in Steve Nash. I might retire right now. If I was Steve Nash, I might just say, you know what? This isn't going to work. And then you ship away your best center, bring your homeboy in, because that's KD's guy, which is DeAndre Jordan, who is L. He's a rebound, but he's nothing else. And explain this to me, Jay.
Yeah.
Why did Brooklyn and why do people hate Jared Allen? Why do you hate him? Because I would love to see Jared Allen on the Bulls. I really would. I mean, you're looking at a guy, when you look at his fantasy numbers, just look at his fantasy numbers. This dude is a walking double-double. I mean, he's an old traditional in the paint center, but he's now spread his repertoire out and he's hitting those 18 to 22 feet shots when every once in a while he takes them. I don't understand. How does Cleveland play two centers? How do you play Jared Allen and Andre Drummond?
Yeah.
And how did you get in? How the hell did you get in this mess anyway? You got Taurean Prince and Jared Allen, and you still got Kevin Love sitting there making $18 zillion, and he's injured for half the season.
The jumper must be wet. Kevin Love reminds me of one of those guys that, he's a rebound. Don't get it. He's a rebound. When he's in the game and he's healthy, he's going to get you boards. He gets all types of boards, not the battle boards, the position boards. He's that guy who can, but he must be, the jump shot must be wet in practice. He just smacking that thing down all the time because he stays on rosters.
He's that, now to your analogy earlier, he's that chick that it's a good chick, and when she's out, you're happy you're with her and you make her happy by getting her everything she wants. But it's always an issue. There's always like one problem. He's that one problem. It's always something. You don't know what it is. Your foot's hurt. Your hair's not right. My nail.
He reminds you of that of the pretty chick who will get up and go make you a plate. You know what I'm saying? So you just. But after that, you know what I'm saying? Not doing anything else.
Right. She just sits on the couch and looks at you with the plate. And you're just like,
can I get a soda with this? Excuse me.
Is there any silverware, dear?
Excuse me. I did get you a plate, didn't I? Okay. You never had anybody else like me get you a plate. Right. Be happy with that. And guys will sit there and get their plate and get up and go get their own silverware.
Yeah. Because that's now Kevin Love.
Yeah.
That's your power forward center plus Andre Drummond, who's a triple-double machine.
Yeah. And
now I guess Cleveland feels if you just corner the market on centers, somebody's going to come calling.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they got draft pieces. So, I mean, not draft pieces, I mean trade pieces. And you got to have that. I mean, especially when the draft is coming up and after the season, there's the players out there you're going to be trying to move around. You got to have it. I mean, but you do have two guys right now on the on the Nets right now who have they won 7 of the past 11 NBA scoring titles. So they're going to put the ball in the basket. They're going to do that up there. Are they going to play any defense?
Well, okay, there you go. This is the last, because I know you got to get ready to go. We got to get ready to go.
Yeah, I got to get to television studio, y'all.
But look, man, look. Who are they going to defend? Yes, they can outscore when KD is right, when they decide, all three of them decide they want to play on that night.
Yeah.
And I've heard all the talk. I've heard, James Harden, if he were that great, maybe he'd been to more than one final. Let's see. What did Kyrie win without LeBron James? And what did KD win before he got to the Warriors?
Well, and see, that's my whole thing right now. Kyrie has to be that glue, which I don't think Kyrie is able to be that glue.
you say Kyrie went and got some glue?
Yeah, because you got to think about it right now. James Harden has averaged 30 points a season since forever, and he's now averaging only 24. So
he's won nothing.
Right. So now you have KD and Kyrie, who also have to score high points for this team to win. Can't nobody have a 12-point game and everybody just hits their averages and they're going to win this ballgame. Everybody's got to be hitting their averages every game. Because
you just shipped away your glue in Brooklyn. You shipped away Karis LeVert. Yeah. And I know it sounds ridiculously silly, but Karis LeVert was your glue because he was that second unit guy that can come in and make everything normal.
Right. So now you have a situation that you have to be running on optimum on a regular basis. So, and the question is now, what happens when they run into some adversity? Because it happens all the time. What happens when somebody tweaks something and now 2 out of the 3 are only there? What happens when you get like a Kyrie Irving right now who's not there because of personal reasons? What happens if you get, God forbid, that you get KD gets a little gimpy somewhere down the line? Right. And now you have a Harden Irving backcourt that has to lead this team with nothing else because they have been stripped down.
Yeah. So, hey, happy 2021. Let's have some fun.
In a league where now hearing a team score 130 points is no big deal.
Oh, yeah, because nobody's playing defense now.
They're playing all-star. All-star games have better defense. And especially that last All-Star game and the game before that one, where they were balling out in the fourth quarter. When they balled out in the fourth quarter, that was probably the best quarter of basketball I would say ever seen.
Well, I'm going to say this to your point, and we'll make this the end. You have a point, and the point is, this is the LeBron James effect.
Yes.
What the Nets have effectively done is they've gotten every player, every anti-LeBron. This is like you had the Justice League and then the League of Boom and Doom.
Yeah.
You had the anti-Justice League. This is all of the villains who hate LeBron James.
Yes.
And they've all gotten on one team together now.
Yes.
DeAndre Jordan. You got the tall Kevin Durant. You've got the diminutive Kyrie Irving. And now you've got the rotund James Harden. All of those who have been, it's like watching Scooby-Doo. And like if you got all of the criminals together and they all attack the mystery van all at one time.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Because all this is right now, they looked over at Giannis and say, step aside. We have kryptonite for Superman. And now this is nothing more than to go beat LeBron James in the finals. That's all this is. There is nothing more than this. This is KD, Kyrie, and James Harden says, if we can get us to the finals, we can beat the Lakers. That's all this is. Because nothing else matters now. The Lakers aren't even the evil empire anymore. They're not the evil empire. You know what I'm saying? They are for the Game of Thrones. They are the North. You know what I'm saying? They are the North. The North is coming. King James and AD are coming, and they're going to come and take all your championship hopes away. All of them. I don't care who you are. And the Warriors can be, at least they're happy now because they don't have to deal with the Houston Rockets anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that gives them a chance to continue to be bad so they can get another high draft pick. But with this Lakers ball club, and they only got better this year, they're better than what they were last year. Regardless of what happens, they're going to win this championship again. They might as well give it to them. Who? I mean, I know we got about 2 minutes, because I got to get out of here. Who is going to beat the Lakers in a 7-game series for all the marbles? Can you give me anybody on this list?
You meant playing. I thought you meant
like in a street fight or something like that. Do you want to fight?
No,
LeBron?
I thought
do you want to fight LeBron in a street fight?
Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, because I saw Wonder Woman 1984.
Was that any good?
And I wish I had seen it in '84 because
wow.
So I don't want any more of that.
Don't do it.
I don't want any more of that.
They said her boots were fabulous though.
Oh, baby. Oh.
They said the boots were fabulous.
Look, man, we're on that foot thing today. I'm just going to tell you. So before we get the boot and get out of here.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I miss the Game of Zones, man. I really miss the Game
You know
of
what
Zones.
I do? That was a really great series. I might go back and rewatch some of that. That was always good.
You know, for all of those Supernatural fans, it's like Chuck was writing the Game of Zones. It was like some seer into the future because everything happened.
That's true. And I was always cracking up. And Squire Butler is still the best.
Squire Butler is the best character. Squire Butler, if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Game of Zones, YouTube it, go someplace, find it, get it. It will enhance your life and your basketball experience. But you know what else will do that, Jay?
What's that?
Subscribing to the Sizzle.
Hit that button. Sir. The button down there. It's the red one. It says subscribe. Starts with an S. Hit that. And give us a thumbs up. Like, you know what? I like these guys. They keep coming on here and talking about it. I don't like what that guy, the one guy sounds like Scatman Crothers. And you know what's bad? Mm-hmm. I was talking to a young guy. I know we got to go. Mm-hmm. That's like 30 years old. And I made mention of something, and I thought he should know. And he looked at me like this. And I know I just said Scatman Crothers, and there's about everybody under 45 just went, who the hell is right?
I got my Hong Kong Phooey somewhere. Oh, man, I'm missing my Hong Kong Phooey. So when we come back, next episode, I'm going to bring Hong Kong Phooey on. And then we're going to show everybody, the listeners, what Scatman Carruthers. That's my dude. But, man, we got to get ready to get out of here. Let me tell you something. If you're not subscribed, you can find us anywhere at ironskilletsports.com. You can find us there. You can find us in any social media platform at ironskillet, or you can look us up by looking up #skillet_sports. We are wherever you want to be. We are there. We are great. And we are here for you because we give you the gift of love. We give you the gift of sports. And you know what else we give you? Love, peace, and sports. Yeah, you weren't ready for that.
Yeah, you just clipped your mic.
Yeah. But that was great. I liked it. I thought that was amazing.
I thought you was about the gift that keeps on giving. I thought you were talking about something else. I don't know if they want to remember us like that.
Oh my God. It's like luggage. You carry it with you everywhere. No, let me tell you something. We are the Sizzle. We are the talk of the 219. We are the hottest sports talk in the 219.
Yeah.
We are the 219. I'm Jay Sizzle and he's Jay Sizzle. And we will see you on the other side.